They both get on their door perches, so I don't know what you want me to do.
Yeah, just show us what a training session looks like targeting, I think. Is that what you're wanting to see?
Yeah, I'd like to see just kind of where you're at, and then we'll look at what you would like to achieve.
That he won't usually come off my shoulder just going like this. He'll just like look at my finger.
I just want to call the area a little bit.
You'll probably walk up and
About it.
Hey Larry,
getting him comfortable to go like anywhere onto anything is like this slow process where she'll like jump on stuff just to get a treat. We can just force you off. There you go.
Part of the training that you're not seeing is that it's very important to target train first on the area that you want to be the stationing point, and then do short flights to that area so that you know that the bird understands to fly to that area. And then you're going to gradually extend the distance as I'm about to show you in the rest of that video. But I wanted to make sure that that part was very clear, that you had to do that training first to accomplish what I'm about to show you next.
Station. So see how I'm not requiring her to touch the stick? It's just more of a magic wand of where to go.
I've never tried to do that with her before. That's cool.
So I'll wait for her to get bored. Actually, you know what? Come take her for a second. I don't want her to think she can fly off of it for the trick. So go ahead and take her back where you just were. All right, and station. So I'm gonna have you come do the same thing in a minute, not yet. Okay. We're gonna try to extend the amount of time. Because I want her to start to look forward to flying here because she's gonna get the treat versus flying to you because that's self-reinforcing.
Oh,
hey, little booger. All right, go ahead.
What is that?
So they get a piece of bread.
Pumpkin bread from
So what I'm trying to do is have her associate coming back here with, I might get a treat this time. The long-term goal is when she's out, she's gonna fly here because you might give her a treat.
Okay.
And yeah, go ahead and grab her and walk to the other end of the kitchen, please. She may not even want to go now, huh? Here, station.
I like this guy.
So this is, as you can see, it's a two-person training job. But as you always hear us say, training is very fluid. So we might set out to start one way. This is how it'll be, though.
And the reason that he doesn't want to wait for her to like fly off by herself is because she'll learn to go fly somewhere, cause trouble, so that you'll ask me to stay here.
What I actually want is her to not want to fly to you. Like, it was kind of hard for you to have her pick her up. That's better because you want her to stay in one spot longer. Any resistance to step up right now is because she knows she gets reinforcement here. So station. So the reason I didn't immediately target her back is I don't want her to think she has to leave and come right back. I want her to stay, and so by you changing the dynamic, it sets it up how I want it versus how she's creating the situation. All right, so stand by to come grab her. All right, come get her. Oh, damn.
What do you think, Cookie's being too loud?
All right. Okay, so this time it's important you get her before she flies to you. So once she's done, she'll start pacing a little bit. Then I'll have you come get her. So I'm gonna see if I can just start to pair the word and get rid of the target stick. Okay, so go back to the same spot. Oh, yes, it's already working.
That's great.
I'm gonna try to transition this over to you. So I'm gonna give you the stick. I'll still click. She's already figuring it out. Let's have her, will you come to me? Yeah, okay, so why don't you cue station and
Station? I don't even know why I said that weird.
So I'm gonna have you stand right at the edge, and I'm gonna use you as a wall. I'm gonna try to take her and stand right behind you. I'm gonna have you say station and tap the perch and see if she lands. Let Jamie click. But I wanna try to get it so we're going to establish object permanence, meaning like with the baby, with your real baby, if you're out of sight, you don't exist. And then at some point, she develops object permanence and knows that, oh, you're just around the corner.
Around the corner.
So what I want to do is test that by doing this. Okay, so go ahead.
Station.
She gets it. And the treat.
The treat nobody gave me. Fail, mom, fail.
So can you see how that can be extended?
Yeah.
So the fact that she did it without, she heard you and she heard you tapping that, and that's what she's paired as the cue. In 12 reps.
Yeah. Cool, okay, I got to do something, y'all can leave now.
What I want to do now is let's just ignore her for 5 minutes, let her do whatever she wants, and then re-cue it for wherever she is. If she's with you, because that's the other thing, will she do it if she's on you?
Yeah.
So we'll find out. I don't know.
Yeah. Big.
Yeah, so we'll keep treats with you. I'm gonna try to kind of hide this.
Yeah, 'cause she'll land on there and just start eating it.
Look at that.
So yeah, she's like, well, I go here, I get treats.
Yeah.
So
she
now
would
we'll
never
go-
normally do that. She'd
Well,
ride around
yeah.
on her,
She'll
go
climb
to
on my
something.
head.
Yeah.
She'll start crawling and hanging off my jacket while I'm walking.
All right, go to cure.
Station.
We're gonna see if she'll fly from there.
There you go, now.
Station. Station. Wrong one.
Almost. And click. Good. So you can see how you expand it.
I don't know what else to teach her how to do.
See, now she's gonna keep going there because she might get food.
This is great. Station.
Another one. Oh, this time I need to go a little bit longer. See how you can feel the tension of like, is she gonna fly? We're trying to get it right before she makes a decision to fly. So we're getting a little more,
Her
like,
head.
little bit more time
Yeah.
each time.
Yeah. May want to work on it too if you're further away.
Not yet. We're gonna let her, if she fails, just put her right back. Don't treat her. See how much longer we had to make her wait, and we're like really pushing to where it's almost scary she's gonna jump. Now if she sees those, she may fly to you, so we need to check our truck again further, quicker.
You can beat me. find that like the funniest thing.
Okay, so set her back up there, but no treat. I think that's all I'm gonna work on that. But that's how you do it. You got the feeling, right?
Yeah, I follow him.
So there's two different ways to get her used to your thumb actually touching her foot. The first way is you're clicking the exact second that you touch her foot, and then you give her a treat. I don't think it's going to work with her. I think the route that you need to go is the neuro-linguistic programming route, which is we call it NLP. And basically what it is getting rewiring the bird's pleasure center from associating like, ah, I hate that, to, ah, that feels good. And the way you achieve that is by pairing the emotional sensation that she gets from getting her absolute favorite treat that she never gets anytime except for interactions with you, with that brief sensation of touching her foot. It's not pinching the foot, it's not restraining her, it's just that brief touching of the foot. With Cookie, what I would do is get her into what we call the Simon Says effect. So if you ever played Simon Says, the way you win the game is you get everybody into a rhythm. You get them into this momentum of like, Simon says, touch your nose. Simon says, touch your chin, touch your cheek. And you get them into this rhythm and then you trick them. It's going to be similar with Cookie. So you are going to do the same training we worked on today, where she steps up, both feet are here, she gets a treat, goes back down. Steps up, both feet are there, gets a treat, steps back down. Steps up, gets a treat at the exact millisecond your foot or your thumb touches her foot, reprogramming that slowly, goes back down. Then you'll do another 1 or 2 reps without putting your thumb on, so she doesn't think that every time the new behavior now is touch her feet. And then as you do more repetitions and more training sessions, you might only get one of those in the first session you do that day. In the second session, let's say you do 5 repetitions, 2 of those repetitions might be the foot touch paired with the food at the exact same time. And then the third session, don't continue to expand it, maybe leave it at 1 or 2 touches. The next day, do 1 or 2, maybe get to 3, but we don't want to rush it really fast. It's a slow progression. Again, thinking that we want to just repair the feeling of touch the foot with a treat at the exact same time. As that becomes boring and she doesn't show any hesitation, then you can continue to do, you could bump it up to every single time you pick her up. It's just a brief touch as you feed. And then you can extend the amount of time where it's touch and feed, let go. And you get that from a millisecond to a half second to 1 second to 2 seconds. And eventually she's reprogrammed that the touch of the foot is associated with that good feeling of getting her favorite treat. And then you can see based on kind of how we expanded with the stationing, how you would continue to expand that to where you can hold her longer and longer. And then eventually you want to get to the point where you can just rest your thumb on there every time you pick her up and she just doesn't care because it's now associated positively. Anything else beyond that you're thinking?
No, I think that's probably the important stuff now, and it gives me the direction that I need to accomplish that. Because I was getting to the point where I was thinking, like, she's 5+ years old, she just is not interested in this, she's not going to do it, there's no way to do it. So hearing it like that, obviously there's the ability to move forward with it, or at least I know how. So
I want to give another explanation of the Simon Says effect. The scientific term is behavioral momentum, and where it comes into play is kind of assigning a new cue. So right now we're tapping, so there's audible, plus we're saying station, and then the birds are flying to it. So what we want to do is set up that pattern, or that momentum of, this is exactly what I do. I tap, 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 call. Tap, 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 call. The next time you might go through all the motions but not actually tap, you're just pointing. But because the bird you've just set up the pattern, and the bird's expecting you to tap, and all you do is you call, now the bird's still gonna go, and you can phase out the target stick by doing that. So again, it would be like, call, and I'm trying not to say station because the bird's there.
Ruin it, yeah.
But it would be tap, 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 call, tap, 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 call, and then point and call. And then you can point and call from that on out, and the bird will continue to go just by pointing and calling, and then you can step back a little bit, point and call, point and call,
okay,
point and call. So you're increasing your distance too, so you don't have to be right by the object that you want the bird to station to. You could be over by the cages, you say station, you just point, and the bird will come over here, and when it does, you click, and then you have time to come give a jackpot. Always think back, small steps. If you're failing, go back to the last step where you're succeeding and then rebuild that. So the failure point might be you set up for the behavioral momentum and you stop tapping and the bird doesn't go. Well, it's not quite ready for it. So continue the tap, 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 call, tap, 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 call. Until
Maybe
that's
just less taps.
really solid. Yeah, and then it could be tap, call,
Okay.
and then no tap, call.
If you need to go back, you know, if you're just like, oh, they're not getting it, they're not responding, try even smaller approximations.
And I know I mentioned a few times, just want to say it one more time because it's really important. Yeah. The idea is to increase the amount of time that the bird's here. You will quickly erase all of that training if the bird quickly learns to finish the treat, fly to you, and then you immediately call it back and gets another treat. And then when it's done, it flies off and you immediately call it back. You just want to make sure that the pattern isn't based off of when she wants it, she flies to a certain spot. Because the idea is we want to extend the amount of time here. It's a hard one to explain on video, but I think through kind of what you guys saw, it should hopefully help. Oh, you totally can. I mean, they're getting it they got it both in one training session.
Yeah.
Without a lot of motivation.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm thinking that millet was a high treat value, but based on what they've been eating, it
might be even easier once we get the diet aspect squared away, because
Exactly.
the is going to be like gold.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So to sum it up, the hormones are the first thing to tackle, which is pretty easy from the cage covers. The snuggle huts are out. Part of, again, kind of jumping back to the diet, it transitions from the hormonal stuff into really healthy diet. So, you know, the chop, I think we decided we're just going to do chop for breakfast and dinner for the Conures, and then add the pellets in there. And once they start eating it, then we can clean up that diet and make sure that that's exactly what they need. Make sure that you're weighing them in this process, because we don't want to see them lose weight. What was the one thing that stood out the most, is kind of an aha moment or your biggest takeaway from having us work one-on-one?
How quick everything just happened by just doing it.
Yeah.
You just did it. We're all like, oh, hold on. Just here. Just, you know, come on. You guys are like, oh, boop. Like, it just happened. Like, it's just the attitude, the mentality about it. You just didn't hesitate. It was great.
For me, it was the small nuances where I think I was probably at maybe 95% of doing what I should do, and not having an outside knowledgeable person looking in to see that extra 5% of the little things that I needed to tweak or change. And, you know, at the end of the day, they were like important things and are potentially going to make big changes for, you know, the future training. So for me, that's what was important to me. As you guys were telling us, and like we told you when you first came here, be honest with us, tell us what we need to do, because the idea of having you come in to our home is you guys are the professionals and we're supposed to learn from you. And so you did that. And the funniest thing to me is, one, I didn't know, and like we joked off camera, is she just custom made these covers, had the sewing machine out on the table and fitted them, and we're thinking we're doing the greatest thing ever, you know, nice fitted things, velcro, boom, they're solid, dark, they're gonna get the sleep that they need. And you know, and come to find out that that's really not the way to do it. So on one hand, I was excited to learn that, but on the other hand, I was like, oh God, all that work that she just did, you know. So
that's just,
you know, it's like a bittersweet kind of thing.
Yeah.
Funny.
But it's nice to know that, like, that those things, eliminating those issues, like the little birdie hut and the covers, will bring an attitude improvement, hopefully.
No more.
Yeah.
I think between getting rid of the hormonal triggers and the just cleaning up the diet and the handling, I think you guys can see a huge difference.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be over the next week, you'll see a pretty big improvement. And I think over the next month, if you go back and you watch handling from earlier today compared to a month from now, you're going to think it's totally different birds.
Yeah.
Yeah, realizing actually that you had taken that out this morning and not last night, I'm super impressed that we got anything done today, like made the progress that we actually did. So the fact that we could make that much progress in the current situation means that you guys are going to be skyrocketed forward when the diet is correct and everything's in alignment.
What she means is that's what they did to us this morning.
It's not eaten.
One simple job.
Merry Christmas. You're probably watching this in March.
Yeah.